Good evening and welcome. Hey, we've got a new overlay, we've got new doodads, and we've got a new look. Hopefully, this will please you. If it does, put it in the comments. If it doesn't, we might listen to you. So welcome to our table where these four fine adventurers are dealing with the death curse as part of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. We've gone through the jungle, we've gone through Omu, and currently you are in chapter 4, the Fane of the Night Serpent. And last we left you all off, you were introduced to the quite apt looker of Fenthaza, who is the local nightmare speaker. As she sort of interrogated you on your motives and on the reasons behind your presence in Omu, she kind of let slip, as in pretty much dropped in your lap, the idea that there might be another way to get what you want that does not involve Ross and C being alive. Her job was to basically screen you and bring you towards the head of the current Thane for a conversation, as he is very interested in meeting you. As you discussed your plans, both in-game and out of game, it's been a while since we've played, and this conversations continue until 5 minutes before we started. The question is, what do you do? Knowing that currently, as things are, should you decide to step in front of Russ and C, it will be so disarmed and disrobed.
How disrobed?
At
What
least
level
not
of...
armor.
Okay. Yeah. For the visual purposes, let me remind you all that my armor is still emitting a tiny bit of smoke all the time.
Yes, you've got fog armor, true.
Just for the jigs, and it's a smoldering armor.
Actually, you're venting off steam from the temperature control system within the armor, which is actually the trident. I know. So, dear guests, what have you decided?
Well, we don't have much choice over the disarm and disrobe, do we?
Well, you do, in a sense. You could just decide to waive any caution or any advice that I would have given you and march in there, weapons and spells ablaze. I cannot guarantee your success, though.
Gale looks at the others and starts to unbuckle her pauldrons.
Rune is already not wearing armor.
Yeah, Gil is the only one that has to remove any armor, but...
Yeah, I guess the only part we need to decide is, are we fighting or not?
Let's talk to the man at least. I mean, he's lived for a couple of centuries, must have an interesting life story. I don't know. No?
As she sort of looks pointed to you, at each of you, and well, Shall I call for a servant to carry your things to the throne room then?
We do have quite some stuff, yes.
Should you wish as well, alternative, if you do not trust your effects onto another, depositing your weapons at Rasensi's feet could be seen as a sign of respect. If you have the humility for it.
Won't he see?
He would
it
allow us to
as-
walk in with our weapons in our hands.
Oh, of course not. But close enough, or far enough from where you would be. Of course, he would never let you within an arm's length. He will never be, and besides, he will not be alone. He has his bodyguards to help him out. Both Malison and Broodguard guard his chambers. As well as a nasty little piece of work called Sekelok.
What?
The Sekelok. His personal bodyguard.
Protect its mind.
Should you try, you could decide to attack his mind. Surely. But do you not think that an entity as old as he would have some protection? Or at least some knowledge of the trick. Do not for a moment believe that you will be able to surprise him or trick him in any way. His years with us have hardened him to treachery and to intrigue. Besides, he is quite the spellcaster himself.
Dragon fighting rules. You hear Gale say in the background.
Gale, do you need help with your armor?
Yeah, can you unbuckle the straps over here?
I'm coming. And while I'm talking with Gale, I'm gonna pocket my Pearl of Power in one of her pockets, and I'm gonna say, I don't use it for the moment, and I think you will have more usefulness for it.
It's up to a level 3 spell, right?
Yes.
Do you need to be attuned?
Yes. But you would already have the Pearl of Power in your possession, so that means if we have a moment to attune, you would.
Okay.
So you can put in your stuff now. Pearl of Power. So I will remove it temporarily from my stuff.
No, you know what? Keep it in your inventory, just so we know and we're sure. And yeah, we'll remember that right now. I'm the one who has it. I'll drop my shield because I have my children's shield, so that's off. That's it. I'm naked and I do not like my armor class.
Mine is fine.
Shut up.
I just stabbed Vroon's arm somewhere like this height, and I'm being like, yes, you without armor, you're even a danger to handle. So yes.
Oh, Vroon, by the way, this will kind of date the taping of this episode, but apparently the new Arnath Arcana for 1D&D came out for Paladins and Druids, and apparently Paladins can now smite only once a turn, but they can smite unarmed.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll need to
Barehanded smite.
I'll need to reread it. To read it actually. But that's the first comment that came out. They nerfed druids apparently. Anyways, going back to this.
Can I try something, please?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of swift my my cloak in order to be like more of a robe. You know, a cloak,
yeah,
but robe. So it would hide a bit of stuff, and I don't know if it can hide my armor, but maybe it can hide my rapier or something.
I will. Should you wish to try and smuggle in objects, we can definitely try that. Anything that is apparent. You're wearing light armor?
Yes. What is actually the armor of the web walker? Yes, it's light armor.
I believe it's studded leather.
It's armor because it's drow armor.
But that doesn't. You've got drow wear full plate and very and drow armor is not subtle. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of spikes all over the place and shoulder blades and padding in strange places. But in your case, yes, I think it was sort of a leather jerkin that happened to be enchanted.
Yes.
So potentially you'd be able to hide it. Yep. We can make a stealth check, or a. This would be nuts. This would be.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Actually, this would be disguise kit, technically. So if you're proficient in the disguise kit.
Yes, I'm proficient.
Okay. We could roll that, but let's have a look with the others. The others, if you want to hide an object, it'd be anything larger than a short sword is going to be difficult, but I will allow a roll for it.
Maybe we should just go, like, I have my Thunderstaff Ring of Mental Clarity that I haven't used since the beginning of the adventure, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure anyone actually remembers or knows that I have it on me. Does it really look magical, or does it look like a ring? And
it looks like a ring. However, it is well known that rings, amulets, pendants, bracelets can hold a charge. How can be used as magical either focuses or magical items. So, considering the paranoia of for all he knows, that's a ring of the ram.
Okay. Are they I have my boots of Elvenkind. Are they going to ask me to go barefoot, or do they know the boots of Elvenkind enough to know that that's not a threatening magical item?
Okay, let's put it this way. Because I don't want to spend 4 hours on examining every single piece of magical item that you were wearing. Okay? What he is going to be looking for is anything that can be a spell focus. Anything that can be a weapon to use against him. If it is something that is defensive, technically you could be... Technically, she's being a bit of a shit, but you might be, if you're wearing your armor, not necessarily a problem. Would he... I'll roll a d20.
Ooh.
What? Would he what?
Yeah, no, he's so I think that something as blatantly protective as adamantine or full plate armor, he's not going to accept. He's not going to commit. Something a bit more subtle. Something a bit more subtle, like.
May you rebuckle me, please?
You're wearing the full armor.
Yeah, no, but can you rebuckle me, because he just removed the strap? So can you strap me in back in, please?
As in he's not going to accept your armor.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
anything,
I'll buckle.
chainmail is still.
yeah, plate mail is still plate. No, so anything sort of leather, he's not necessarily going to go for it. But yeah, he's not going to accept a full paladin in the weapons. Same thing. Anything that is fairly visible, sort of large, he's not going to accept that they be in your hands. He's not gonna search you guys for kitchen knives. However, we'll see if you want to try and hide a couple of items. I will allow you to make sleight of hands, and I will put them towards his passive perception. That is according to the fact that should he maybe or not have detect magic at his disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a risk for you to
Big.
I would find it very funny to see someone carry the armor of Vroon or the weapons of Vroon. Just like, here is lockpick, you can carry it. Go on.
Happen.
There are limits to things Sorsha can hide. And that is a bit much.
I will still thank my fellow adventurers for reminding me to casting mage armor. So, because I have been checking and I still have mage armor on me. So thank you.
I mean, we would like that you do not die before getting to the tomb, so...
Even at 12.
Well, I have some character concepts I would like to try.
Don't even think about it.
Yes. Well, I'll see if I can help someone with taking stuff or putting stuff away or hiding stuff. But after that,
Okay. So as a pair, the pair of Malison that were outside the door are called in, and you can see that. I'm going to go through each one of you. What items would you be trying to hide, for example? Let's start with Vroon. Anything?
I think the only thing, like I think he probably accidentally leaves on the Ring of Truth Telling and the Ring of Mental Fortitude, but more is oh fuck yeah, I'm wearing rings.
Okay, so you're wearing those two rings. Okay. Sorsha.
Well, taking off her ring is not an option, but nobody's ever seen it, and she's wearing gloves all the time, so I guess no effort on that side. But yeah, she will definitely try to hide her armor, and while at it, her rapier.
Okay, the rapier is going to be difficult to hide. Let's see, just want to make sure about this. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's. Make me a. Okay, make me a sleight of hand check. Make me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
To try and keep. Fenthaza is looking to you and going. Okay, 17. Heinrich.
they wouldn't let a poor disheveled man as me take my walking stick, right?
Oh, they
no?
won't.
Fuck.
Oh, come on. This ain't no word tongue. Come on.
You're also not an old man like Gandalf.
You look disheveled, but you're not an old man.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
he can look like one. We put that to the test.
I probably everything except my ring and my daddy's coat, because I think they're not gonna be like, you have a coat. Oh my god! It
No.
just.
Don't think
But
so.
the ring, that's more like I will do the same thing with what Vroon said. Like, oh, you mean this? It's my friendship rings that I made because we're such good friends.
It's
And,
true.
and it's true. It is friendship rings.
In a sense,
And as-
yes, you are right.
And I'll still keep Nugget in the front of my shirt with a little head popping out,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
just in case.
Okay. Gale?
Gale removed her armor, put her shield down, still has Tide's Will like in her hand, and when the guards arrive, she like you lose, misplace, do anything with this that you are not supposed to, and you are going to be fried.
Phantaza
You-
sort of look. They do not look perturbed by what you say, but they only react when Phantaza says, "Oh, they know what they risk at taking things that do not belong to them." And you actually see these two sort of flinch and sort of side-eye each other.
And reluctantly she lets go, like...
I guess at least they know discipline here.
So the boots can stay on. She actually totally forgets about the ring. Like, she knows she has it on her hand, but has never actually used it. So, like, it's just a friendship token from Heinrich. And is going to again look at the decanter at her hip, say, "That's a source of fresh water. Do I need to give it?"
You can try and sort of forget it. Yeah, make me a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
I am adapting the difficulty to the item.
I am not good at sleight of hand.
Okay.
I was not going to try and smuggle in the alchemy gem.
Technically,
I mean-
I'm still wearing an amulet. Tide's Will is my main spell focus, but before I had Tide's Will, I had an amulet.
You would be required to remove to.
Yeah, and that one I'm gonna remove and give, even if I...
Would have found it funny to see Vroon throw mayonnaise against Russian Sea with alchemy. You're like,
Is there any now? Here's the thing: are there any items you wish to just hide in your bag of holding?
I am going to give Heinrich the 2 potions of vitality that we have, and so just slip them away and for them to disappear into the bag of holding for now.
oh, my books and all that.
Dumping.
Okay.
Vroon, do you want to hide something?
All my things are rather large.
Mm.
I think I'm okay.
If they don't return this to us, then there's bigger
Sorry,
problems
that
than
was
there.
not what I wanted to do. My
I
bad.
had the question in mind. Like, it's a very Harry Potter visual. Like, I mean, if like I put like something in Lerol's mouth and I pop him, if I pop him back, will he pop with the object?
He will
We-
disappear and the object will clatter to the ground.
Even if it's in its mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, besides,
would be-
if you put a rapier in his mouth, he will get stabbed.
That's the point he had. But I had a visual very like Phoenix.
No, unfortunately, yeah, that is one of those things. I mean, if you had a druid, maybe, but no, it's specified that familiars, even when they shape change, they do not. The equipment does not follow. For example, so if an imp, you give an imp something to, and they transform into a bat or some quasit, for example.
Could have been pretty fun. Imagine a nugget, a parrot nugget with bringing us all stuff could have been fun.
I think it's the Last Call for Adventure, which is a fairly new podcast. They have a familiar squirrel that is it's a squirrel with a knife. They give a knife to a squirrel. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, basically, because like I'm not going to hide anything anywhere because the stuff that matters the most
Is going to be there anyways, yeah.
is going to be there. Like if our stuff doesn't get returned to us, we are either it's because we're fighting or and then like it's a problem anyway. Like putting something in the bag of holding is like okay, then I still need to try and retrieve it from the bag of holding.
It's an action.
Yeah, no, it's only because I don't plan on the potions of vitality being used, and at least that way I'm 50% more sure that they're not going to be broken or jostled or stolen during the thing. It's regroup in one item.
Done.
Okay. So. So take note of those items that you have, and let's move. So the two Malison basically using Gale's shield as sort of a platter, right? On which they will be putting most of the items. They do clock the rapier at your hip as you're sort of pulling down the robe around you. They have a look towards Fentaza, and Fentaza just goes. And she decides, well, I have vetted you for meeting with the great Rasen C. Do not disappoint me. Do not make me regret that decision. For you will not see the light of day should you fail me. So, please, follow my servants. They will take you to him.
Out of game, can we agree that we didn't agree on anything with her?
We
What?
we agree to disagree was more the vibe that I got.
Yeah, we didn't shake on anything. We
No,
didn't.
she didn't ask you to, but she did say.
Yeah,
But it's
pushing
not
us.
it's not a promise. It's just saying that whatever you do what you want, but if you disappoint me, I will have your heads.
Just wanted to clarify that we didn't take no engagements.
No, there is no formal promise. No.
I guess disappoint her is A, betraying her, or B, tilt Rasency off at any point. Yeah.
It's the clear thing is this is should you decide to attack Rasency, well, it's not going to be her fault. If you decide to kill him, well, not a problem. should you decide to turn back and say, by the way, she's betraying you, you're going to make an enemy.
Yeah, sure.
But that is also an option on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You are brought through the... so what I'm going to ask you is... I'm going to move him to the side. I'm going to mark him as green here. So if you can all please step out of the room to the south there. And just follow the green snake, who is currently holding your effects. Okay? And that way I can sort of show you the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is not another.
It is known.
So south, you come in, as I mentioned previously, you come to a large room. You with a sort of giant snake statue in the center. There's
Triceratops much bigger than Kumari.
actually that is a adult. Yes, Kumari is a youngling basically. I think we had decided that she had the size, and because she needed to be the same size as a warhorse.
Yeah, I mean, there's also just different sizes of Triceratops.
Absolutely, yeah. This one's actually pushing on a couple of years. It's fairly old, but still sort of it seems to be fairly reactive. You also know a series of creatures, their eyes sort of turn down, but let me... Yeah, these things. They would look like spiny, how do you call them? Galapagos lizards, right?
Yeah, the bearded dragons?
Yeah, the bearded dragons. Except these have 6 legs.
Oh.
Huh.
Probably run fast.
Why don't you guys make me a nature check?
Nature?
Do I get advantage because it's from child, or?
These are fun. Actually, no, these are not specific to child.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
That makes sense. Then that is a 5.
No, you've never seen one of these. But I think so. Gale and Sorsha, you know this. These things are quite well known in underground circles. If I'm saying, these are basilisk.
Oh.
Do not meet their gaze.
Yeah.
8 legs.
8 legs.
6.
Sorry, apology.
Yeah.
No, 8.
My
Well,
bad.
it's 6 legs and 2 hands, but no. There's 8 legs. Yes, I apologize. This is your GM not being able to count. Make sure that he. We'll see if that happens during the dice throwing.
That is why D&D Beyond does the math for us.
The Malison,
We're moving again.
yeah, the Malison sort of moves you towards, and you can see as you enter from the top of a very large room. This one, there is a lingering smell of blood and incense, which almost becomes, in a sense, intoxicating, especially to you, Vroon, where there's if you had any sort of, by definition, when you smell blood, you have this sort of recoil instinct. That's sort of natural, right? And for all 4 of you. But in this case, the smell with the specific incense almost becomes enticing. There's something that almost attracts you to the huge pools of blood that is situated in the center of the room. What you see right in front,
the room, but
so right here, is actually a very large gong.
okay.
And he continues downwards throughout the temple. Let me give you the exact.
There's the blood.
Yeah. So, right, okay, so this is the description. An underground cathedral opens before you. At one end, a sculpted balcony perched atop 5 rearing stone serpents. Blood dripping from the serpent's jaws fall into a semicircle basin, and from there flows along a slope trough into a wide stone bowl set into the floor. South of the bowl is a mezzanine, prominently situated atop, which is a cauldron of steaming broth that exudes fleshy odors. To the west, a huge gong carved with snake patterns stands on a second balcony. This is the one that you were brought down from. Across the way, over here, you can see a series of, sort of portcullis. So 3 sort of columns of iron that is, and on the other side, you can also notice a series of. Well, actually, you might recognize a few from the welcoming party. At least the first one.
Yeah, I see some ladies over here.
Yes. As again in this purple bluish smoke, you guess that this would be the harem. Finally, the Malison brings you close. Actually, I should say that there are the 2 of them right here, basically.
Does this symbol mean anything?
Actually, you would not be able to see it from here because that's 40 feet up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny that they did to the line of sight on there's a wall on this thing, but then not on this one. So it's a bit like okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. When you were describing the room, we couldn't see it yet.
Well, actually, that's the best way to do things. I guess now that any new maps now would have sort of directional. When they created the map in the module, I'm guessing. Well, no, I know that they did not have directional line of sight. So who knows? Maybe in updates, but I doubt they don't have the manpower to update every single module with their new technology. That'd be nuts. A set of double doors, intricately carved again in brass and stone. You can see the sort of snakes. You can see a series of snakes sort of rising from the bottom, climbing, weaving into each other to create this sort of wreath of snakes at the center of the doors. The 2 Malison sort of place themselves, and they open the set of double doors. I will give you the description of the throne room as you enter. You may enter. Let's move these here. They will come up right here, indicate you towards the back, sort of basically stand. You are to stand between the brood guard, basically, and I will put your stuff here.
Look, it's Mr. NC.
Finally.
The 2 Malison are dismissed.
But they're dropping our stuff, right?
They have dropped their stuff. Your stuff is right here.
Okay.
Which is kind of peculiar. Why would Ross and C dismiss a pair of guards?
Because he has enough.
Maybe. So
There's another one
for
of those symbols here.
Yeah.
let me
Oh,
give
it
you
isn't.
let me give you the description of the room.
Huh?
4 pillars support the vaulted ceiling, and steps ascend to an iron throne carved in the likeness of a hydra. Painted on the wall behind it is a large blue triangle. To the south, an engraved stone disc is set into the floor of an alcove. A 10-foot wide opening in the east wall leads to a flooded cave. Before you, well, actually, right next to you, Vroon, stands a tall, muscular Huanti pureblood, which is the only
Weird.
person, yes, in a sense, you know of the Huanti and their ideals of how to deal basically with
Blood.
with purebloods. Actually, let me see if I can. Give me a couple of seconds while you discuss, and I'll see if I can't actually find a portrait for this man.
Because he has a name, so he must have
Yes.
a portrait.
There we go. Oh, this is good. This is good. I shall take you. You shall be Sekalok. I didn't take the time to replace him. So I will just place him here. And go back. There we go. So this is what he would look like.
Where would it be?
Out of games.
Okay.
So
no.
he is massive. And he's roughly, I would say compared to all of the others that you've seen that are fairly sort of natives, but not short, but this one he would be around something maybe about 2 meters, 2 meters 5.
Oh yeah, okay.
So practically he looks like a Luxodon in human form. If you would and only the very slight coloration of his eyes sort of you could mistake him for a human fairly easily if it were not for the subtle coloration of the eyes and sort of serpent scales on his chest, which seem to have been colored in with henna or some sort of tattoo. But yes, you are most likely under the impression that this is the champion or the bodyguard that Fentaza was speaking of previously. As for Ras himself, Vroon, despite the slow burning incense in the room trying to cover it up, you smell the rot and the almost gangrene-like malady that is taking him. He is this enormous creature, half. Let's see. Can I get a handout, please? There we go. The bottom waisted down, it is the body of a huge snake. The scales have been hardened almost into stone, as they're that ancient. But you can see holes. You can see places, gaps between the in this sort of armor, natural armor of his, as the scales have been falling out and not been replaced. He's holding bandages over his chest, arms, and even face, as you can feel. You see this gangrene, this almost leprosy taking hold of him. To his side, you can see a long sword, which he holds, where the pinions are formed as formed a snake, form of snakes, and you can see that there's almost a head. The blade seems to come out the head of a snake. For a while, he just scrutinizes you out of one good eye. Well, I have heard much of you four. What brings you unaccompanied to my fane?
You hold the missing piece.
The missing piece. Yes, I have been told that you seek to enter the tomb of the 9 gods. But my invitation was prior to me stealing that piece from under you. So again, I ask, why are you here? Why have you come to Omu?
Does it look like Vroon is going to answer or not? Quick question.
No, you can go ahead. Well, just.
Well, I guess by the look of you, you are no stranger to the knowledge that a strange curse has fallen upon this land.
He waits.
And we have been sent by interested parties to try and get rid of this curse. And it happens that we have tracked it to this place. And so we are looking for entrance in the tomb.
A curse, you say?
For lack of a better word.
And what curse might this be, then?
Some kind of death curse.
And you have been told that this curse originates here in Omu.
Yes.
Diviners in Waterdeep.
And Portnianzaru.
People of Portnianzaru. Oracles
Yes, the oracles.
bring us here.
Have these oracles also told you that I must disappear? That my life is keeping this curse awake? Is that what your information has told you? Is that what Artist Simber has been telling you?
No.
Nope.
And you do not look like you are keeping this curse alive.
You look like this curse is draining you.
What is this curse exactly?
From what we have been told and have seen, it steals any soul of any person dying currently, rendering any resurrection impossible, and any person who has died and has been resurrected in one way or another, is decaying, just like you are.
Make me a persuasion check. I'm not going to tell you if you have advantage or not.
Mm.
Seriously?
Your story seems a bit stretched for truth, though I can appreciate a tall tale and somebody who can read my melody and take advantage of it.
Sorry, telltale.
May I add that, of course, we're not all knowing. The one putting that curse, it's obviously of great power for even cursing you. So we couldn't know the full extent of it. We had to search through it. So yes, maybe it's not the full extent of it, but that's what we know of it.
And if a curse this powerful has brought you from quite a while, when did it start?
Calendar, please.
Yes, let me get the calendar.
Like 2 or 3 months ago, I think.
No, less than that. A month and a half.
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
We traveled 1 month
In the jungle.
in the
Yeah.
jungle. Yeah.
Well, that's almost 2 months, yeah.
It's a month, almost 2 months.
It's
Almost a month or almost 2 months?
Almost 2. We are on the 28th
Yeah.
of the second month.
All you need to
oh,
do.
it's. I mean, we arrived in Jolt on the
Wait, sorry,
27th
we
of
arrived.
Nightle, so
Yeah, so 2 months.
yeah, it's been 2 months.
Jesus.
Do you mention this to him?
Yeah.
He sort of looks. He has this sort of movement about the head. Well, perhaps the two might be linked. And so you say this curse originated here in Omu. Where specifically?
We sing in the tomb.
You overlap
There's
there.
Yeah.
So if you want to go.
Apparently, from inside the Temple of the Nine Gods, which is why we look for the lost key.
And so you would enter the tomb. Should I give you the last key? And
Yes,
what then? Would you brave the tomb and loot its insides? Find the source and destroy it? Save the world from this curse? Is that what I am to understand?
Pretty much.
That is the gist of it.
We have been directed towards a black obelisk, and the only black obelisk we found was the one here. So,
The tomb is indeed marked by a black obelisk, upon which a Serarak has placed his first warnings.
let's be careful of that then. If you allow us to go.
But if you are our host, may we ask, Why did you invite us to see you?
You have made quite some noise in my city. And in recent weeks, there have been several groups of adventurers that have crossed the borders of Omu. Have been pillaging the ruins, disturbing the King of Feathers, and destroying my kin. You are the first ones to accept my invitation. The others paid foolishly their refusal. And I actually would thank you for finishing off the last few of those red-robed cretins.
Cretins is actually a good description.
But before we end this conversation, a topic must come to light. And that is the whereabouts of our December, as he has been seen in your company for some time now. And I would know what he has told you about his old friend seated before you.
Nothing good.
I would expect not.
Yeah, he's definitely not a fan of you. That's why he didn't accompany us.
Cowardly as always, that one. Manipulating others and doing what he would, had it be the paragon of virtue that he aspires to be.
And what's of you then? Are you a paragon of virtue?
I am the first of Uptao's chosen, Paladin.
Are you still? You call these... and then like doing sort of gestures to the snake people, like, you call these people your kin. I see you have taken to their shape, but Uptao would not have chosen a creature of Dendar as his chosen.
Everything that I have ever done was for Uptao and Mesro. Think on that, follower of Uptao, follower of the disappeared. Everything that I have done since before and after my exile has been for Mesro. So, think. Why am I here? What is my wish? What is my purpose?
I do not know.
He turns towards Gale. This one seems to have an inkling. Daughter of faith, follower of the gods. Tell me, what have you understood?
I am going to do a quick religion check just to see if Gil links it together, because I guessed it when you basically were trying out this pitch, but ooh.
No.
With a 14, she might.
No. Well,
But yeah, no, there's an element missing that you told me and that you didn't tell here. So yeah, no.
well, actually, all of you, make me a religion check.
Well, there you go.
And I'm going to give advantage to Vroon on this.
Religion.
Religion.
But
Yeah.
it's not Sorsha's fault.
Okay.
Like gods, whatever.
So, and thank you for the reprieve. That voice is killing me. I've been trained. With an 18, Vroon, you're pretty much the only one to really know this. But Dendar shares one aspect. Let's put it that way with Uptao, as in they're not gods. They're primordials. They were creatures that helped the gods basically create the world, and then they were dismissed once the gods had finished with them. The Night Serpent was a problem, and it is well known, at least in your cult, that Uptao helped the gods in prison.
That's why he's the betrayer.
And that is why he was actually lifted to a status of godhood upon Chult, as Uptao is the guardian of Dendar. So, with Uptao gone, who's to keep Dendar below? And this cult, well, you did see upon the doors rising serpents. Does that help?
So, is it just a matter of revenge?
You lack vision, as most of his followers. They cannot see the end of the maze for all of its turnings, twists and turns. My exile from Mesro, my years, have shown me the bigger picture. Uptao did not return when Mesro was invaded. Uptao did not intervene when Mesro disappeared. Destroyed. Because in the end, that was not his purpose here, in this place. But Dendar, should Dendar be awoken and Uptao return, the battle would decide the fate of Chult and of the world in large. Should Dendar find victory, well, I would have some revenge. However, Ubtao, should he win, will see the sacrifices that I have made to bring him back. And Chot will have its protector once again. Mesro be reborn, and I be seen as the first of his chosen, once again.
So it's all just about you.
Not about me.
You talk about yourself, about how you will be seen, how you don't talk about Mesro anymore.
A general fights for the battle and the victory, but takes the credit. But he does not fight for himself, he fights for a cause. You, of all of this group, should know.
I'm no specialist, but I see a big fault in your plan.
Oh. Speak then. Enlighten us.
You said if. If Ubtao returns. If. I mean, if I chose to leave and someone tried to force my hand to return with a big menace, I would just say fuck off. Deal with it. And the gods do not like to be forced. That's all I say. If is a big causality for a plan as big as that. And if that if doesn't happen, well, you will be seen as the worst of them.
I am already seen as the exile, the traitor, the Bara hoof.
And you will prove them right.
I will accept your words from the ignorance that you speak them from. I know who and what Ubtao is. I have fought by his side. I have lifted boulders. I have lifted a city by his side. I have protected in his name. I have killed in his name and that of those he protects. I know his faults. I know his virtues. And I know his obligations. The Bara were not created to serve as his protectors. No, we were his surrogates. We were created so that he would not have to deal with the petty squabbles of mortals, the prayers. No, he is one who enjoys his solitude. He enjoys creating, advising, and who knows to what pantheon as now, under disguise, he is peddling truths and half-lies and vagaries. But should his charge, the only divine gaze that is placed upon him, break? No.
He could put it back again by letting it be destroyed. In his position, I see more interest in letting everything be destroyed and doing it back again. That way he would do what he likes. You said it yourself.
Gaze means it's an obligation by magical forcing. So technically, Ubtao would be forced by divine contract to come in.
Okay, sorry. It's
no worries.
Okay.
We got it. We got that.
You claim to know so much. Then tell me, why did he turn away from you?
He never turned away from me. The others turned away from me. I was not exiled by decision of Uptau. He had already left Mesro, tired by the politics.
If you were still favored by him, would you be under the effects of this curse?
From what if I were not still in his favor, I would not be here speaking to you. Artus's blade would have sundered me years ago. It is only by divine favor, by Uptau's favor and his will, that I am here today. And it is my belief that the maze that he has wrought in front of me has brought me here for this purpose. You believe that I am here despite Uptau, to that I say I am here because of him. That it is his will, his way that has brought me to this moment. And he has brought you to me. You, Vroondomon, as a representative, what other sign could that be? That he has favored me with you to bring me the final piece to the resurrection, to the return of both Dendar and its guardian. You are the glassed key. This curse is part of the fate, part of the weave. I will give you the cube. You will enter. To do what you must. Save the world from this curse. But you will also find something else deep within his treasure vaults, within the tomb. A crown upon which sits a black opal. I will give you the key to enter the tomb. And you will come out and bring me that crown. For after having saved the world, having saved these foreigners to which you have allied your fate with, you will save us.
This is not an alliance with foreigners. This is something that affects all. And like sort of also like sort of this trunk probably points at his like fucking shambling appearance.
By the way, you will notice that during this whole thing, none of the Malisons seem to understand common. Or at least your common. He has been speaking to you in a common that is... Actually, he's been sort of an Omnian or sort of the coast. He, very clear, very well spoken, despite the leprosy, language. You understand that Fentasa might have understood your language, but Sekelok and the Huanti are Chaltian. They most likely recognize a couple of words, including the word for Dendar, the word for Uptau. But
that's also why he sent those two guards away.
Most likely, yeah. If Fentasa is not already aware. I mean, this whole speech might actually be the reason why she's trying to get rid of him. I can see your notes in the Discord.
Hey, Heinrich is very, very silent, just slowly petting his little nugget, and just a little bit hiding behind Vroon, like, I am behind Vroon, everything is okay. I'm behind Vroon, everything is okay.
Yeah, no, I'm. No. Those are thoughts that Gale has and that we're going to be talking about later.
Yes.
There's a question, if you don't mind, that's been in my mind since we've been in the jungle. You are a chosen of a Tao, which is a protector of this land. Why are you killing people in the jungle? You're not just killing, you're exterminating people. That's pretty heavy stuff.
And by what means do you think that I am doing so?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because I would like to avoid judgment more than Arthur Simber has already passed down, so I prefer to ask you directly. Because that's what I saw, not what was said by someone else.
Artist Simber's blade did more than just rupture my lifeline. It cut me off from my servants across the peninsula, from my armies. By striking me down, he made me lose control of those hordes that now plague the jungle.
You're in that hordes.
I was given power over the dead so that I may help the living. That is true.
Did you?
But now, in this weakened state, I cannot control them.
They were controlled, so the one with the blue triangles, they were controlled.
Were they though?
They acted like they had intelligence and had a goal.
A couple of ghouls, maybe.
Huh?
A couple of ghouls, maybe, but the ones that you met in the forest, no. Oh, and...
No,
Oh, wait. He would maybe...
Those were just the ones created by him, but still rampaging.
Okay.
Besides, they are undead. Any powerful necromancer might be able to take over them.
Yeah, I didn't say it was him controlling. I said because during the battle in the camp, you mentioned they were acting in a controlled manner. So
yep,
that's
I
what
did. And you met someone who was capable of doing things.
Yes, but again, I just felt they were controlled, not telling he controlled them.
A lich is more than capable than able to.
To which actually, well, his reply would say, I understand that my leftovers are being fought over by multiple entities. Whether the Red Wizards or Nanny Poo Poo. What used to be my army is now rendered into skirmishes or roving.
Whoa.
But should I recover my powers? Should I be reborn anew? All of that will be handled efficiently in a single thought.
making it very hard for Vroon to now go like, oh yeah, no, we'll totally like fix this cursory and stuff.
Again, bring me the crown. And that is also a problem that Schult will never have to face. As across the jungle with just one thought, I will have them all destroyed.
You would destroy your army.
With Ubtao returned, why would he need my armies for protection?
Why would Ubtao need you?
Because he personally chose me. He knows my character. And he knows why I did all this. He will see through the maze of my life and take judgment. Should he be displeased? Well, so be it. But he will know that I did all of this in his name. But I reserve him that right. No judgment upon me will be placed by either of you. So then, what should you do? What will you do? Will you jump forward, grab your weapons, and try to strike me down? Will you accept my bargain and move forward in your quest?
I mean, our priority is to get to the tomb and get rid of that curse.
And a battle usually lasts 60 seconds.
I know. But we're lacking the necessary equipment right now.
Right there.
I'm kind of keeping an eye on Rune at this point. Like,
Vroon's like fingers are twitching and his trunk is twitching and he's like definitely uneasy, but you see him holding it back.
Do I notice that, Vroon? Because I'm behind you?
Oh,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure everybody notices.
Like,
all eyes are on Vroon right now.
I think like any roll above like a 7 on an insight is like enough to just go like, ooh, he seems tense as fuck.
Oh no, I mean your passive insight is way enough to notice this, yes. I mean, he is the key to liberating Dendar.
yeah, he wants to liberate the...
No, I'm talking about Vroon.
Yeah.
As in, Rawson C, in his mind, justified or not, does see your friend as the justification of his whole plan.
Yeah, but he does need a crown for that.
Knowing that I read the book of the Yellow Banner Company, is there any information in about a crown that has been... Okay.
No, they were looking for something different. They were looking for...
So that means there are multiple valuable artifacts in that location, so we have a confirmation of that at least.
Yep.
Being silent all the time, I'll just put a hand on Vroon, and I just say very calmly, I think we need to help the people, and that's gonna have a prioritize, because lots of people are suffering of what's happening right now, and I think we are fit for the job that we need to do, and other things that need to happen, we can fix it. But I think I would sleep better knowing that we would have helped a lot of people that are probably suffering of this. And I said that even people that maybe have other point of views, but at least we are helping people get better, because nobody deserves this, because it looks very, very painful. And I just for a second I put a glance on, like very quickly put a glance to Genasi, and I focus back to Vroon, and I say it like in a very gentle, calm way of saying like, hey, we're here to help and try to help people not losing their beloved ones.
Very well. We have priorities. Let's see. And like, Vroon knows that the last part is like just a title that he's choosing not to use at the moment. Like, give us the key, and we will go down and end this curse.
No change in the plan there.
And we will remove this crown if we find it.
I am sure that you will find it. For I see how your mind works. You will find it, if only to make sure that I do not. But you will bring it to me. Of this I have no doubt.
Why? Are you planning a dirty trick?
This temple is full of those who would see Demdar return. It would not take much for them to be stirred into a frenzy, a fanaticism, and follow you to the ends of the earth.
I mean, at that point, they're free to open the passage. Let them open the way.
We are currently barred to enter by agreement with the Serarak.
And
We are charged to protect the temple. But he had hidden from me the fact that the curse that is bringing me low emanates from his tomb. And as such, I do not see any problem in letting you in and allowing you access to a very dangerous place. You will meet his trials. You will suffer whether defeat or victory. But I believe that you will come out victorious. You will enter the maze and exit. You will have saved those you love and those who are suffering from this curse. And you will be bringing me the crown. Because you know that I am right when it comes to the fate of Chult.
Well, let's go then.
He snaps his fingers. There's a word, maybe a name, you're not exactly sure, in old Omuan. And the Malison on your left pulls out from a bag that he was holding a cube about this big. Upon it, the carving of a Zorbo. This is the last piece that you're missing. The last of the 9 cubes.
And I take it with a little head, thanks, head nod. Give it over to Heinrich and say, you specifically stressed the fact that this tomb is very dangerous. Would you be so kind as to allow us to get our affairs back?
I would not keep you from your tools, for I wish your success as much as you do. So please.
Thank you.
And both Malison sort of come up. As you move forward, Vroon, the second lock's blade jumps into his hand and just places itself in front of you. And the 2 Malison that are on either side of Ross C step forward. Pick up your effects from the ground and hand them back to you. But you, Vroon, are kept back in your spot.
Thank you.
It will take a while to put all the
stuff
on.
Heinrich will help and anyhow to put armor on and all that to win some time also.
Yeah. Sorsha, if you would be so kind.
I can do my best. And she begins to strap you.
And I'll do the same with Vroon with a little mage hand, like, okay, let me help. Is this tight enough, Vroon?
Tighter.
Okay.
Now then, go. I shall expect some news from you. All you need to do is whisper into her stone,
All right.
What?
With
The
Salida's
song
stone.
that's Salida's.
Yeah. You just see Heinrich like while he's putting the armor on, like a little sweat bead, like oh.
As you finalize putting on your armor, unless there's anything else that you wish to vocalize or
Technically,
speak.
now would be the best time if we wanted to attack Recency. But
That is true.
Above table, I will follow you until the end of the earth if you want to, guys. And I will follow your lead. Under the table, I just want to go home.
Yeah, but it's been 2 months you wanted to go home, so.
Yes, put my character in the center of his trauma. So he's like, he's literally like.
By the way, I believe that your current appearance is this.
Yes.
No, I cleaned him up a little bit before entering. I've got mending. Your clothes are still good, you know.
Yes, but still.
It's his state of mind. It's an illustration of his state of mind.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a state of mind.
I think if we would go, guys, if you want to fight, we'll fight. But if you don't want to fight, we have the key.
Let's bugger off.
I would love to have a good night's rest and learn Fireball.
Yeah. As much as I hate it, if we start fighting him now, we're less likely to make it to.
Out of game, Sorsha thinks it's just pushing back the problem. But
technically, now we have a real chance of killing him. After the curse is lifted, it's over. Well, we'll need a full Mesro if we want, and not even a full Mesro is gonna be enough.
And we're gonna bring home more Monegs if what he says is right. Like having cultists added to the... We already have a lich who looks at us. We're adding cultists. That's a bit much, you know.
The lich is looking at me, so you're fine. It's okay.
No, that's why
She's calling me. She's calling in my dreams, you know, invading my dreams to talk with me. So it's fine.
Too many threats. Like Sorsha now has the poker face, but you know her enough to know that she's ready to go at the guy's throat. She's in menace mode, like survival mode, like right now.
So as you are now fully equipped, the Huanti Brood Guard in full attention, Sekalak sort of sizing you up, Vroondomon, as maybe as a fairly worthy challenge. What do you do? As
perhaps that's a good point to have the break, and then
yeah, I was kind of thinking as well. So let's give our players, our actors here, a moment to think about what they want to do next, and we'll see you in part 2 of this.
The time to have those meaningful looks between the four of us.
Exactly. Right, okay. We're going to be taking a break. For those watching at home, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the second part of this episode. See you in a bit.